Well, there's been no goals in Miami, but that does not mean there's nothing to talk about. Plenty for Mamelodi Sundowns to be happy with. They've had 3 shots on target. As far as Fluminense are concerned, 0. No shots on target. That's the story of the first half. And then on the other side, Ulsan in trouble against Dortmund, with Dortmund 1-0 up. We'll take you through that. But Bongani Kumalo, as well as Pomoto Monenze, let's get through the situation and talk about how it was that Mamelodi Sundowns should be in the lead in this game.
They've kept the tempo, they've kept the control of the game, they've created 4 opportunities, 3 of those that are on target. I thought Ribeiro has been the heartbeat of this Mamelodi Sundowns team. And when Ribeiro is on the ball in between the lines, in the pockets, if you give him space and time, he'll hit you. He has already a goal and an assist in this tournament. Look at where he picks up the ball. He picks up the ball on that right pocket, that is Ribeiro. When he receives, he's got one thing on his mind. He wants to create space for himself. As soon as he gets that space, he has a shot on target, but a great save from Fabio in that instance.
Willing to take on 3 players. I mean, he's putting himself in the shop window.
Yeah, he has. And obviously, whenever you got defenses that are so tight, I think you can see what Inacio and sort of Freitas are doing to Reyners in terms of just smothering him. So when he becomes that tight, you need that ability, skillful players that can sort of minus 1, 2, 3 players and obviously get the shots off. So
early on, Fabio making that save there, but then Fabio was again key. The second oldest player in the FIFA Club World Cup is the Fluminense goalkeeper at age 44, and he was needed within 30 seconds with these 2 moments.
Yeah, look, it's unfortunate. Matthews has missed a couple of big chances. I mean, there's one in the final that was a similar look. Now, again, he's been sort of slipped through, where you just need to be a whole lot more clinical, especially at this level, because you're not going to get many of these. And that was wonderful play from Sundowns, which was just releasing the front players again.
And then take a look here. Lunga pulls the trigger again. Fabio in the way.
It's that battle that I said I was looking forward to, Arias versus Lunga. He gets one ahead in this instance. But for me, again, is that man Ribeiro. The weight of the pass to be able to release Matthews earlier on. And then Matthews returns the favor. He's the man that then releases Lunga. But a great save by Fabio in goals. He has looked very good, reflex saves, he's always alert and he's anticipating well.
There is danger though when it comes to this Fluminense side. The superior player of the match in the match against Ulsan, he had this chance. John Arias tries to... Is he shooting? Is he crossing? This 35 minutes in.
Yeah, I think it's a shot. I think obviously Sundowns, have sort of stamped their authority in terms of the press when the game started and about the lion's share of the possession. Now this is where Fluminense get a little bit of joy whenever sort of they try play out of the back. Sundowns, you can trigger the press whenever the ball goes backwards. That's always the cue. One ball is won, and obviously now with Arias he's released and he's got basically goal side of Lunga. The one time he's actually gotten goal side, and with this opportunity, I mean, he's had time to really get his shot off. Should be hitting the target, but with that, Sundowns will be relieved that he hasn't.
Guys, the more this game has gone on, I've been contemplating Tebogo Mokwena's situation. He got that yellow card early on. The question now becomes for Cardoso, do you bring him out again for another 45 more minutes of risking a red card?
Obviously, in the changing room of Fluminense, they'll be targeting him. They'll be reminding the offensive players to say Mokwena is on a yellow card. Because in the 40th minute of the first 45, I thought he could have received a second yellow in that moment. Now it's a question to Cardoso to say, do you bring in an Obas? Do you bring in an Adams? Do you bring in a Mkulisa that are on the bench that can play in that position? Because they're dominating the position, can they afford to play with 2 8s, with Allende and Adams? That is the question that Cardoso can answer for us.
This is what it looks like as it stands. Look at that. Possession, Mamelodi Sundowns, passes, Sundowns, shots, Sundowns. It's all Sundowns, except what needs to happen in the second half to put it in the back of the net. Is it Shasha time?
Perhaps. I mean, obviously he hasn't had a running, has it? He hasn't had a look in. Now the question is, are you willing to take off Reyners who's really gotten your goals? So it's very difficult to sort of think players that are so positive, I mean, you don't have to see him for long, but if he gets a chance, chances are you'll put him in the back of the net. So that's a difficult decision for the coach to make, but I think give him another 15 minutes, see what he can get.
What is frustrating Reyners is that they're not offering him the space in behind. He's a striker that likes to run onto the channels. They're defending a little bit deep, that is Fluminense, and that's why we've not seen a lot of Reyners. Again, on the other game, Dortmund take the lead. But for me, it's how they are forcing to build that is awesome. They win the ball back, that is Dortmund. Look at Bellingham laying off Sivansi and getting his goal in that moment. I thought this could have been avoided because they are taking risk in the defensive zone of of the field. And I thought unnecessary to risk in that moment. They're a goal down.
Hey, Bongs, Ulsan, but from 90, man, they haven't kept a clean sheet in forever, and then they want to play it out. It's stolen. Daniel Svensson, the left back, finds the net.
Yeah, I mean, not a good area to be playing your football, especially when you've just regained possession being under pressure. Dortmund are always fantastic when the ball's circulated wide and obviously looking for the crosses. Once you've won that first phase, you have to beat that first line to give you that sort of leeway to breathe, and then you can sort of get on the ball. But to get on the ball in your own box, you're inviting pressure.
And there's still plenty more trouble for Ulsan in that second half. Bayer is a top goal scorer there. Joe Bellingham can get the net. Seru Gurasai, remember, he's got 13 goals in last season's Champions League and 21 goals in the Bundesliga. He hasn't got on the score sheet yet. So we'll see how Ulsan can hang on in this one. Guys, 45 more minutes. Sundowns must win. A goal must come for them. At least one.
I think you can look at bringing Shalulile, aerially very strong in terms of set pieces, corner kicks, side free kicks. Ribeiro feeding the ball more because he's the heartbeat of this Sundowns team. I've not seen a lot of Chambazwani. I hope they will use him more.
So on points so far, Mamelodi Sundowns have the advantage, but points don't count in football, goals do. And we need those goals from Sundowns in the second 45 minutes. Let's see if they can find it and give